Okay, the Netherlands versus Ukraine, I think, has got to be the most entertaining game as a neutral that I've watched so far in this year's Euros. First half, how that first half was 0-0, I have absolutely no idea. The Dutch were the better of the two sides, but are very defensively suspect, and they play with no structure, which going forward is actually kind of fun to watch because it makes it hard for the defending team, in this case Ukraine, really to pick up players and man mark when you've got a team playing with basically no structure, with two wing backs that are basically working as two extra wingers in Van Arnholt and Dumfries. And it made it harder to defend. Now, Ukraine looked very good on the counter-attack in the first half and caused Holland a lot of problems as well, the Netherlands. And the Dutch looked a little bit less competent in defence than previous Dutch sides in recent tournaments. They looked not as defensively solid as some of the Dutch teams of the last 10, 15, 20 years. The second half was where all the goals come. 5 goals in 45 minutes. 2 really crazy spells of goal scoring. There was a 10-minute spell at the end of the second half where the game turns on its head and it could have gone in favour of Ukraine, but the Ukrainians didn't get going until 74 minutes in the second half. When Yaldum scores the first goal, could the goalkeeper have done better? Yes, he had to come out for that cross low. He could have pushed it a bit further away, but when Yaldum, instead of blasting it, actually places it. Very well taken finish from 52 minutes. And then Venkhorst, who is a big physical centre forward with actually a fair bit of movement and pace to him, gets his goal on 58 minutes, and the Ukrainians look completely shell-shocked. They're defending deeper and deeper and deeper. And those 2 goals in 6 minutes, that was a smash and grab by the Dutch. They should have been 4 or 5-0 up by this point. The Ukrainians should have had a couple of goals as well. It could have been 5-2 by this point. It's only 2-0. How the game was only 2-0 after 58 minutes is beyond me. That first half, how no goals went in, and the Dutch were wasteful, again, is beyond me. But it was so exciting to watch because the game was so open with how high the Dutch wing-backs in Van Arnholt and Dumfries were pushing, and Dumfries actually missed a sitter in the first half. They left themselves really exposed going the other way. Now, the Dutch are cruising at 2-0 at this point. They got the game in the bag. Yarmolenko will have something to say about that in 74 minutes. The Dutch, as I say, defensively very, very loose, not overly structured. They back off him. They back off him, and he's allowed to open up on his left-hand side. He's predominantly left-footed, although he can shoot with his right. He opens up his left-hand side, and Stecklenburg has not a chance with that. That is a brilliant goal by Yarmolenko out of nothing. Yarenchuk scores off a free kick. Milanovsky had a poor game, but that free kick was brilliant, and that is a brilliant header. And again, the Dutch defence, poor. The marking was poor. He gets in front of his defender, and that's a bullet of a header. 2 goals in 4 minutes by the Ukrainians, on 74 and 78 minutes. The Dutch have thrown the game away at this point. 2-0 up, cruising, could have been 5-0 up on how their second half was going. It's now 2-2. And the Ukrainians suddenly looked like they could push for the winner. It really just blew the game wide open. Much like the first half, the last 15 minutes of the second half were as good as the entire first half put together. Dumfries' goal, what's the goalkeeper doing with that clearance from that back pass? Just put it into row Z, passing it out along the ground just towards the corner flag. It's picked up, back into the box. Dumfries, who's had 3 opportunities, forced a good save, missing one, finally gets his first goal in international football, and it's the winner. And I will tell you now, he was possibly the best attacking player the Dutch had. You've got Memphis Depay, you've got Van Arnholt, you've got Wijnaldum, whose goal was brilliant. Dumfries' goal, I think, is a reward for his attacking efforts. Defensively, not sold on the Dutch at all. The Ukrainians in defence looked better and more organised. Going forward, the Dutch had more quality. Yes, the best attacking team won this game, but I think the Ukrainians can take a lot of heart from that last 15 minutes of the game. and how they played and got back into the game. They will be frustrated that they threw away the game with poor clearance by the goalkeeper and then their defence switching off. Overall, though, that was the most entertaining game of football I have seen in a very long time in a group stage of an international tournament. Some group stage games can be bore draws. I was really impressed with the Austrian-North Macedonia game. 4 goals in that, 5 goals in this. Let's see what tomorrow brings with the Scotland game against the Czechs and Group E kicking off. But the Dutch and the Ukrainians have put down a marker for entertaining football, if nothing else, with Shevchenko and De Boer as managers. You've got 2 international legends there managing their national sides. And the Dutch formation has been heavily criticised in the Dutch press. It's been heavily criticised by fans and some players. Yet that formation, with its lack of structure going forward, is brilliant. Defensively is where I think the Dutch will struggle in this tournament. The Ukrainians, their lack of pace is what I think could hold them back. However, they've got some good young players. A good core from Dynamo Kiev, which is a winning side, which is key. So a lot of good combinations. Is that lack of pace, I think, could be their problem. North Macedonia, Ukraine could be a very interesting game for the best third place team, I think. But anyway, brilliant match to watch. I don't know what else to say. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the game below, and I'll have some more videos obviously for you tomorrow. And thank you for all your support, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.